Hello friends, we know that the organic chemistry involves a number of terms such as oxidation, reduction, dehydration, hydroxylation, elimination, alkylation to describe the actual process occurring in the organic reaction. The alkylation is the general term or it is used when there is a replacement of hydrogen by any alkyl group in the electrophilic substitution reaction. Suppose if the hydrogen is replaced by a methyl group, then this alkylation is called as a methylation. But the methylation is carried out by using one reagent, and that reagent we are going to discuss in this lecture. And this lecture deals with the study of a diazomethane, its preparation, and the applications in the organic chemistry. In application part, we will discuss the mechanism of each and every application of diazomethane. So from this discussion, it is clear that the diazomethane is used for the methylation purpose, but it is quite different than the alkylation, where hydrogen is replaced by alkyl groups, that is methyl group. In this methylation, we will see the insertion of a CH2 group between the atoms of a single bonds. The atoms, it may be a oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, 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 hydrogen. There is an insertion of this methyl group and we get a corresponding products. Therefore, this diazomethane is nothing but the methylating agent in organic chemistry. Now, the structure of diazomethane is having a two nitrogen. It means that a diazo group. It is a two nitrogen and one methane. So, by combining the two nitrogen and methane, the structure will be like this: a CH2N2. Now, this structure I will write like this: a CH2, then it is attached to the nitrogen, then it is attached to the second nitrogen. To maintain the balances of nitrogen and carbon, we have to put here a double bond and here a double bond. Now, this nitrogen, it becomes positively charged due to the extra valency, whereas it nitrogen having a negative charge due to the less valency. In this way, the diazomethane looks like. Now, this diazomethane is having a boiling point around minus 23 degrees Celsius. It means that it is in a gaseous state and it has a yellow color, but it is toxic in nature. It is toxic in nature. That's why the preparation of this diazomethane is carried out in a situ. It means that it is prepared when it is required and it is prepared within the reaction, and due to the toxic nature all the reactions of these diazomethanes they are carried out in a ether as a solvent. These are the physical properties of diazomethane. Now consider the structural formula of diazomethane, which is like this: CH2N double bond N. There is a negative charge, there is a positive charge. This diazomethane is having a resonance and it will shows a resonating structure like this. I will write a first resonating structure on this side where there is a formation of this type of structure upon shifting the bonds. Here we get negative charge, then here a triple bond, and this nitrogen possesses a positive charge. In this way, by shifting this negative charge and this double bond, we get a resonating structure. Now on this side, I will write a second structure which is also a resonating structure of diazomethane. Now what I am doing here, I will put this double bond or electron from this double bond on the nitrogen. Therefore, a positive charge on the nitrogen is neutralized. So here we get a CH2 single bond nitrogen, double bond nitrogen. Here a negative charge, and as there is a breaking of double bond, this carbon possesses a positive charge. In this way, diazomethane is having a various resonating structures. Some of them I have drawn here, out of which we will take this structure or this structure when we are going to see the applications of diazomethane. Now we will see the preparation of diazomethane. For the preparation of diazomethane, a specific type of reactants or a reactants having a specific group in their structures are used, and generally the alkaline hydrolysis of that reactant is carried out. Now let's see the preparation of diazomethane. Preparation of diazomethane generally involves the alkaline hydrolysis of N-nitroso N-alkyl amides. So I will write here the alkaline hydrolysis of N-nitroso N-alkyl amide. The general formula for N-nitroso N-alkyl amide, instead of alkyl we will take a methyl. I will write the general formula here, R C double bond O, then a nitrogen which is attached to the methyl group and which is also attached with the NO group. This is N-nitroso N-methyl amide. When it is hydrolyzed in presence of alkali, that is NaOH, so I will write here NaOH, and the solvent is ether. We get a CH2N2 plus H2O plus sodium salt of carboxylate, that is carboxylic acids. So in this way, this N-nitroso N-alkyl or N-methyl amide undergo hydrolysis in presence of alkali to give diazomethane. If you look upon the structure of reactant carefully, it is clear that there is a presence of CH3NNO, which is going to convert into the diazomethane. So whatever the reactant they have chosen in this reaction, they should have CH3NNO, or this CH3 group, it may be replaced by a ethyl group, propyl group, in that way. Here there must be a presence of carbon and there must be a presence of two nitrogens. So the different reactants they can be used in this preparation process, they must have this type of part in their structure. So I will write the different structures of the reactants. I will put a CH3 group, then I will write N, then nitrous group which is attached to the CO group, then it is attached with the benzene ring, and similar groups are there present on this side also. The structure is known as bis N-nitroso N-methyl terphthalimide. Bis N-nitroso N-methyl terphthalimide. Then in the second structure or in the second reactant, we will replace this C double bond O group by SO2 group, and this part by a benzene ring and CH3. So I will write here once again CH3, then NO, then SO2 group, then this is attached with the benzene ring, and here there is a presence of methyl. Here once again N-nitroso, N-methyl, and the remaining structure is para-toluene sulfonamide. So para-toluene sulfonamide is also used for the preparation of diazomethane. Now I will replace this CO group or this SO2 group by a C double bond N, and I will write the third reactant. Once again there is a presence of CH3, then N, then NO. Here I will write carbon, then here NH. Here I will write NH, then NO2. N-nitroso, N-methyl nitrogonidine. In this way, the different structures or different reactants that I have drawn here, they always possesses a CH3NNO. That is, this type of functionality must be present in the reactant. Then and then only we will get a CH2N2. Otherwise, we will not obtaining the diazomethane. So this type of skeleton, carbon attached to the nitrogen, which is attached to the nitrogen or NO group, it must be present in the reactants which are chosen for the preparation of diazomethane. Whatever may be the other functionality, it may be a carbonyl group, it may be a SO2 group, or it may be a C double bond NH group. So in this way, alkaline hydrolysis of all these reactants, they produce a diazomethane as a final product. Now, a simple reaction is carried out in a C2 where N-nitroso N-methyl urea is taken in an alcoholic solution and K2CO3 is added, which will produce a diazomethane. So we will take a reaction in which K2CO3 is used. Here I will write the structure of N-nitroso N-methyl urea. So N is there, then N-methyl, then N-nitroso, here CO NH2. The alcoholic solution of this compound, that is N-nitroso N-methyl urea, is prepared, and to that K2CO3 is added. In presence of ether, it will produce a diazomethane, a CH2N2 plus H2O, CO2 plus twice KMCO. In this way, N-nitroso N-methyl urea is converted into a diazomethane when it is treated with the K2CO3. This reaction is carried out in a C2 and it is the simplest reaction for the preparation of diazomethane. So this is all about the preparation of diazomethane. We will see the applications of diazomethane in the organic synthesis. The simplest and specific application of diazomethane is a methylation. In methylation, there is an insertion of a CH2 group between two atoms. It is quite different than the methylation observed in an electrophilic substitution reaction. Here there is an insertion of CH2 group, whereas in the electrophilic substitution reaction there is a replacement of hydrogen by CH3 group. Therefore, these two processes are different one. The diazomethane causes the methylation of various compounds such as mineral acids, alcohols, phenols, amines, as well as carboxylic acids. And in methylation process, if there is a weak acidic hydrogen, we require a catalyst which may be a boron tri. Now we will take the reactions where the methylation occurs. Suppose first reaction is SCl. When it is treated with CH2N2 in presence of ether, it gives CH3Cl plus N2 is eliminated, or there is an expulsion of N2. Then I will write the second reaction here, and we will take a carboxylic acid RCOOH, CH2N2 ether. Then the product will be RCOOCH3 plus N2. Third reaction I will write here, uh, C6H5OH, CH2N2 ether, and this C6H5O CH3 plus N2 is eliminated. Then I will write the fourth reaction, where alcohol is giving a product, that is ether, and ROCH3 is obtained here with the expulsion of nitrogen. And the fifth reaction I will put here, uh, R, then NH here R. It will give corresponding tertiary amine RN, CH3 and R. Now the fourth and fifth reaction, they requires a boron trifluoride as a catalyst, because whenever we compare the acidic character of HCl, acids and phenol, it is found that they are more acidic in nature, whereas this alcohol is less acidic, whereas these amines are basic in nature. Therefore, this hydrogen, they cannot be removed easily. That's why there is a requirement of catalyst, that is BF3. Now, what happens in all this reaction? The CH2 group is inserted in between these two atoms, whereas the CH2 group is inserted in between these two atoms. And how it is happening, we will see in the mechanism. We will take the example of this acid and the example of phenol in the mechanism. So let's see the mechanism of acid, how it is converted into the corresponding ester. Acid, that is RCOOH. It is a carboxylic acid. When it is treated with uh, diazomethane, which is having this structure in presence of ether. In first step, what is happening here? The diazomethane, it abstracts this hydrogen, and it will form a carboxylate ion like this. It will attack on this hydrogen. The electron from this bond, they are shift here. So we get RCO minus carboxylate ion plus the CH3 triple bond N. Here there is a positive charge. Now this carboxylate ion, in the second step, it will attack on this carbon, and there is an expulsion of this N2 group, and subsequently we get RCOO, then CH3 plus N2. In this way, carboxylic acids, they are converted into ester. Now, if you take this O and H bond and this CH2, then it looks like that this CH2 group is inserted in between these two bonds, and if there are insertion of CH2 group, then we get this type of structure. It means that it will form OCH3. That's why we called in the introduction as well as in the beginning of application, there is an insertion of CH2 group between these two atoms. Now we will see the mechanism of phenol, and the phenol is converted into the corresponding ethers. I will write the structure of phenol, that is C6H5OH. When it is treated with a diazomethane, which is having a formula like this, then as like a carboxylic acid, the diazomethane similarly attacks on this phenol, and there is an abstraction of this hydrogen, and there is a formation of a phenoxide ion. So here we get a phenoxide ion plus CH3N triple bond N, a positive charge here. Now, in the second step, this phenoxide ion attacks on this carbon, and there is a elimination of N2 group, and it will form a ether OCH3 plus N2. In this way, phenols are converted into ethers. Similarly, all mineral acids as well as alcohols, amines, they are converted into the corresponding products. If the primary amines are used, then we get secondary amine. If the secondary amines are used as a reactant, we get a tertiary amine as a product. And the methylation of the reactant is occurring in this way. Now we will see the second application in which there is a preparation of higher ketones either from aldehyde or ketones. Preparation of higher ketone involves the reactants such as aldehyde or a ketone. When they reacts with the diazomethane in presence of ether, they gives higher ketone. It means that there is a lengthening of the carbon chain, and the product is having one carbon more than the reactant. So I will write the reaction here: RCHO plus CH2N2. In presence of ether, there is an expulsion of nitrogen, we know that, and we get this type of ketone here. Along with the formation of ketone, we may also get the formation of a epoxide like this. Here there is a presence of H, then there is a presence of a CH2. This type of epoxide is also formed as a side product. Now take the example of ketone RCOCH3 plus CH2N2. Here ether minus N2, we get RCOCH2CH3 plus a product like this. Here there is a presence of epoxide. So the epoxides are side product in this preparation of higher ketone. Now if you look the structure of this ketone and this ketone, there are more carbons as compared to the reactant, and one carbon is more. That's why it is called as a chain lengthening process. Now we will see the mechanism of this reaction, how it is occurring, and how we get the two products. So once again, I will write here RCOCH3 plus CH2 double bond N, a negative charge, here positive charge. Now what happens? It will shift the electron here, then this carbon or this bond, it may attacks on this carbon, and there is a formation of intermediate RCO minus, then CH2N triple bond N, there is a positive charge, and the CH3 group is here. Now what happens? This intermediate, it will undergo either a rearrangement or either the attack of this oxide ion on the carbon. So suppose if there is a rearrangement of this R group or this CH3 group, then what happens? This electron or negative charge, the electrons there came back here, then the rearrangement of this CH3 to CH2 with the expulsion of nitrogen or minus N2. Then here I will write RCO. Then this CH2 group and a CH3. So in this way, if this CH3 group is rearranged from this carbon to this carbon, it is 1,2 rearrangement, then we get this type of product. Suppose this R group is rearranged, then we get a different product, that is CH3, here a CO, then a CH2, then R. So either this group or this group, it may migrate from this carbon to this carbon with the expulsion of nitrogen, and we get this type of products. Okay, and both are these are higher ketones as compared to the reactants. Now a side product is obtained like this. This oxide ion, it may attacks directly on this carbon and there is an expulsion of this nitrogen. Then what is happening here? R, then C, it is attached to CH3. This is the oxygen, then it is the CH2. In this way, we get the epoxide. But the major product is a higher ketone. It may be RCOCH2CH3 or RCH2COCH3. In this way, there is an insertion of this CH2 group between a carbon and carbon, and we get a corresponding higher ketones. Now the third application is a preparation of diazoketones. Diazoketones are obtained when diazomethane is treated with the acid halides, that is RCOX. RCOX. For X, I will put here Cl, that is acid chloride. When it is treated with a diazomethane CH2N2, we get a product, that is RCO CHN2. It is nothing but a diazoketone, and there is an expulsion of SCl. In this way, we get the diazoketone. Now see the mechanism of the formation of diazoketone. In the first step, I will write here once again RCOCl plus a CH2 double bond N, double bond N. Here is the negative charge, positive charge. Then it will shift the electron here, then it will attack on this carbon, and there is a formation of O minus. It is the nucleophilic attack or nucleophilic addition reaction, we may call it as. Then a Cl, then here a CH2, a single bond N, triple bond N, nitrogen possesses a positive charge. Then it will came back with the elimination of Cl, and minus Cl I will put here, RCO minus, then CH, and one hydrogen I will write like this, a N triple bond N. N positive is there. Now the nucleophile, a Cl minus, it abstract this hydrogen from the carbon, because this hydrogen is acidic one, because the carbon is attached to here nitrogen and here C double bond O. Therefore this hydrogen is acidic one, and due to the abstraction of this hydrogen, the negative charge came on this carbon and it will convert into RCO, a CH negative, then N triple bond N. Here there is a positive charge. Now in the next step, what happens? It shifts the electron here. It will shift the electron here, and we get RCO CH double bond N, double bond N, a negative charge came on this. This is the resonating structure of diazoketones. In this way, there is an expulsion of hydrogen and Cl, that is HCl is achieved in the mechanism, and there is a formation of diisoketones from the acid halides. Now, the fourth application of diazomethane is the synthesis of heterocyclic compound, in which there is a cycloaddition reaction occurs to form a five-membered pyrazolene ring. When diazomethane is treated with ethylene or ethene, it produces a corresponding one pyrazolene through a cycloaddition reaction. This is ethylene plus a diazomethane. I will write this resonating form. Here there is a positive charge. This carbon it will attack here, and this carbon it will attack here. There is a breaking of this triple bond, and the electrons are shipped here. That's why the positive charge on the nitrogen is neutralized in presence of ether, and here we get there is a formation of five-membered ring in which there are two nitrogens. So I will write here the ring first like this. These are the three carbons, and then nitrogen, and here there is a presence of nitrogen, and in between two nitrogen there is a double bond. So this is the structure of one pyrazolene. It may converts into the two pyrazolene by the shift of one of the hydrogen from this carbon. It will loses electron, and there is a breaking of this bond, and the nitrogen is going to convert into the NH. So here we may get NH, and there is a double bond between this carbon and nitrogen. It is a 2 pyrazolene. Now look at the reaction here. It is first carbon, second carbon, then first, second, and third. If I number from this, therefore it is a 3 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction in which diazomethane reacts with alkene, that is ethene, and gives a pyrazolene or 2 pyrazolene. Now the last application of this diazomethane is a formation of carbene, and the formation of carbene is involved in the preparation of cyclopropane ring, and the application is also known as cyclopropanation. Carbene is formed when photolysis of diazomethane is carried out. So I will write a direct structure of a diazomethane, that is CH2N. Here I will write triple bond N, a positive charge, then here there is a negative charge. When it is photolysed or in presence of light, it will give a carbene which is having a formula like this, a divalent carbon, and there is a expulsion of nitrogen. And this carbene is a reactive intermediate which is used for the cyclopropanation reaction. And this cyclopropanation reaction is carried out in a C2, where the diazomethane is treated with the alkene, and in presence of light, the diazomethane reacts with the alkene and it gives a formation of cyclopropane ring. See the example. Suppose a CH2 double bond CH2 is there, then a diazomethane, that is I will write here CH2N2 directly in presence of light. So I will write here photolysis, and here what happens, this ethane is converted into the cyclopropane. How? In presence of light it will form a CH2, that is a carbene, and this carbene it undergoes a cycloaddition reaction with this ethene to give corresponding cyclopropane. Now, similar strategy is used when a diazomethane is treated with a cycloalkene, that is a cyclohexene, and a CH2N2 is there. Here I will put a light, that is photolysis process. Then this cycloalkene, that is cyclohexene, is converted into this type of structure in which a cyclopropane ring is fused with the cyclohexane ring, and the two hydrogens, they are attached like this. These hydrogens, they are present at this carbon and this. Now the stereochemistry of this cyclopropanation reaction is that this cyclopropane ring is either above the plane of this cyclohexane or below the plane, whereas two hydrogens, they are opposite to this cyclopropane ring. In this way, a formation of carbene is used for the cyclopropanation reaction. This is all about the applications of diazomethanes in organic chemistry. So with this, we will stop here. Thank you for watching the diazomethane and its preparation and applications.